Yo, what's going on, guys? And we are here. Yes, we're doing the Milwaukee Bucks, what to expect from them this season. And let's get right into it. Before we start today's video, I want to hear your thoughts down below. What do you guys think the Milwaukee Bucks record is going to be? What do you think of this squad? Do you think they're going to be as good as they were last year? And let's get right into it. Who do you think is going to be, a guy who's going to break out? Jordan Nwora just re-signed on a two-way, and he showed flashes. So I want to hear your thoughts. Any of the players that aren't, the three main guys, Khris Middleton, Giannis, and Jrue Holiday. I mean, Bobby Portis is another guy, but let's get right into it. But Bobby Portis won 6th Man of the Year. And I'm going to run through the roster. AJ Green and Sandro are both on two ways this season, with Grayson Allen, Giannis, Thanos, Marjon Beauchamp, the draft pick this year. Marquise Bolden, it's crazy he's still in the league. Jevon Carter, Pat Connaughton, George Hill, Jrue Holiday, Serge Ibaka, Joe Ingles, Brook Lopez, Wes Matthews, Khris Middleton, Jordan Nwora, Bobby Portis, Luca Beldoza, and Lindell Wigginton on the current roster for this season. And it'll definitely be interesting because currently they have already their two-ways filled, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. They have to cut 3 guys. Right now, if I had to look at this roster and say the 3 guys that they're cutting, most likely Marquise Bolden, Luca Beldoza. I know, I love my Argentines. My parents are from Argentina, puedo hablar español. And Lindell Wigginton. I love Wigginton, but if I had to assume Marquise Bolden, Lindell Wigginton, and Luca Beldoza will be the 3 guys that they cut from the roster to get it down to 15. And look, I think the rotation, obviously, I think they're going to probably go Jrue Holiday, Grayson Allen, Khris Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez, with Bobby Portis as the 6th man, and Pat Connaughton and Jordan Nwora and Joe Ingles coming in at the wings, and then Jevon Carter being Jrue Holiday's primary backup with George Hill in there as well. And then, they do have Marjon Beauchamp and Wes Matthews. I think Wes Matthews will honestly play more than Marjon Beauchamp. And that's nothing against Marjon Beauchamp. I could be proven wrong, and Marjon can come in and be a guy who could play 15, 20 minutes a night. But I just think they're going to give Jordan Nwora the minutes, and then they're going to give, Wes Matthews some minutes, and even Thanos before they give, Marjon. Just because I think Marjon, unless he can come in and show that he's, one of their better shooters, which is possible, his shot hasn't been consistent, and that's why he fell to the end of the first round. But with that being said, I think he could be someone who could, make an impact. Yes, AJ Green, Luca Beldoza, and Marquise Bolden, I don't think are going to make the roster because they have Serge Ibaka, Brook Lopez, and Bobby Portis as the 3-man center rotation, with Sandro as a break the glass emergency on the 2-way. Giannis is backed up by Bobby Portis and Jordan Nwora. And then you're going to have Khris Middleton backed up by a combination of Jordan Nwora, Pat Connaughton, Joe Ingles, and even probably some Thanos in there. So you're good right there. I think all 3, their small forward, power forward, and center positions are super deep. Once you get to the guard, obviously their weakest position is shooting guard, which, Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, Wes Matthews, and even probably a little bit of, I think Marjon Beauchamp is more of a wing, like small forward, power forward, than a small forward shooting guard. So, I could also be wrong because the way he played and stuff in the G League, the guy, yes, he's 6'6", but he plays way bigger, and he's 6'6", like I think almost 210 now, they're saying. So for me, I really do think that, yes, he's a guy that can score the ball at will, and he's a good player. He averaged 15 points and 7.3 rebounds. Again, I just see him more as a wing than as a shooting guard. And for me, I look at this team and I think, when will the full roster be on the floor? It isn't clear who the Bucks will start at shooting guard, and there's some debate at the backup point guard and rotation, between the guard positions, with, like I said, Jrue Holiday being back, and we don't know the shooting guard. We assume Grayson Allen, but Jrue Holiday, George Hill, Jevon Carter, Wes Matthews, I guess Marjon Beauchamp, Pat Connaughton, and Joe Ingles potentially all playing some of the guard minutes. And the biggest question is the health of the roster. Khris Middleton's returning from offseason wrist surgery. Joe Ingles is recovering from a torn left ACL, and Giannis Antetokounmpo is obviously going to need some rest after EuroBasket. And these Bucks, as we know, are title contenders when healthy. And again, I think they're going to be a top 4 seed easily. I'm not worried about it whatsoever. I think this is a top team in the NBA. It's just fully healthy, because if you look at this team, I think personally they are a team that on paper should be title contenders. And when I look at the Bucks, it's all about health, okay? This team is so much better. Obviously, any team in the NBA fully healthy is going to be a lot better. But the Bucks are like the best team in the league when they are healthy, okay? So this past season, Bobby Portis played the most games, 72. Then Giannis with 67, Drew Holiday 67, Khris Middleton 66, Grayson Allen 66, Pat Connaughton 65, Jordan Wall 62. And those are 7 guys only played 60 plus games. And then basically from guys in the rotation, like, yeah, there's 7 guys. We would like it that, you know, basically everyone plays at least 65 games. Because if they play 65 games healthy, that's a team that could really win 65 games. And Giannis was just phenomenal in the EuroBasket. And I know some people are going to be like, okay, with Nehm gone, they're going to take a hit. But I think Charles Lee is going to be fine. And they have Josh Oppenheimer and a few other guys on, you know, the bench. Josh Oppenheimer's still there. I believe Mike Dunlap is still there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Who left to go with Nehm? But yeah, I think this is a team that has a bench that's still good. For me, there's not too much to worry about. And I do think that this is a team that definitely can come back and, when healthy, could be a lot, you know, like fully healthy, this team's unstoppable. And I think having Joe Ingles there as a secondary creator is going to be great, because first off, Drew Holiday being one of the best defensive guards is phenomenal. Then I think Javon Carter, the Mountaineer, if his 3-point shot's consistent, he's the perfect backup point guard. And if they ever need some, you know, spice it up, have George Hill as the, you know, the third break the glass emergency. You know, Grayson Allen gives you 3 and D at the very least. Not much like to expect past that. Pat Connaughton, similar but more athleticism and a bit more splashy plays and helps sway momentum. Wes Matthews, he's another break the glass guy, while Khris Middleton being backed up by, you know, probably Joe Ingles. Joe Ingles is going to be a secondary playmaker. He's not going to give you much defense, but hopefully his 3-point shot comes in, he's shooting like 40%. It's just, will he be able to, you know, move quick enough to stay with NBA players? I think that's the big if with him. And I think there isn't too much to worry about, but those are things that I think some people might be sitting here and thinking, okay, this is something that we might have to consider when looking at Joe Ingles. But I think if he's fully healthy, that's a great backup for Khris Middleton, because you take out Khris Middleton and you still have, you know, maybe Giannis and Brook Lopez, or Giannis and Bobby Portis, and, you know, George Hill or Javon Carter and Pat Connaughton out there, and you have Joe Ingles who can help facilitate the ball with either George Hill or, you know, Javon Carter when Drew Holiday and our man, what do you call it? I feel like I'm blanking on his name. Javon Carter and George Hill, I don't know, come off the floor, and Drew, you know, Javon Carter and George Hill come on the floor, and Drew Holiday comes off the floor. And Giannis, we all know what he can do. Hopefully Brook Lopez can stay relevant and not fall off a cliff shooting wise. I know the 3-point shot and the blocks haven't been what they've been in the past, but he's still a good player.